What's up? Welcome to the Extreme Podcast. I'm Bailey Nelson.
Sean Finnegan.
And let's make this happen. So today we're going to be diving deep into the story of the myth, the man, the legend.
Your intro is better than my intro of him today.
No, but really, like,
I love it.
You are the ultimate timekeeper as far as I'm concerned. And I love all
you guys are so nice
No, you're
to me.
seriously
He's
such
the
a rock
ultimate
star.
anti-timekeeper.
Anti-timekeeper.
Yes.
Yes.
Anti-time management, best-selling author.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice.
Multiple best-selling authors.
Yeah, we're just making it up as we go, you know? It's like, hey, you know, just having fun.
Yes, you are fun. So today we were just obviously at one of our X-Room, podcast Palooza type events. You came and you spoke for us for a minute.
I did.
And honestly, I think the biggest takeaway that I received, and most of our little pods that we were doing, we did these breakout rooms where we could actually learn from each other and like what's working, what's not working, and really what you shared transformed everybody's life. So I just wanted to
no,
I'm not. I'm literally not.
It was definitely a highlight of the day.
For
you.
A lot of comments.
For
People
sure.
loved
So
it.
maybe
You guys
can
are
you
too
like
kind.
kind of share with
I can't remember. I blacked out since Saturday. I don't even know.
So basically, you were just saying like it's your studies around time. That was your whole right, like why you came up with the book.
Where does this idea of because you talked about earlier, like in personal development and business is like you got to manage your time, you got to pack it filled, and you got to the grind culture, right?
You know what's crazy? This just happened. So one of the participants here came with my book in hand.
Oh, I love that.
Anti-time management. Because you asked me,
yes,
book?
I was
I'm
like,
I didn't bring it. Okay, I was so bad. I know. He brought it. And then he went deep into telling me how he had read that book and my other one, The Power of Starting Something Stupid. And it compelled him to walk across the country. And now he's going to walk across Spain, and then he's going to walk across Japan, interviewing other young men about mental health stuff and doing these kinds of things. Now, that has never entered my mind. I've never done that before. I did not tell him to do that. But what's crazy is when you stop thinking like, one day I'm going to rescue my dream from the end of a timeline. One day when I finally get healthy, I'm going to do this thing. When I finally have money, I'm going to do this thing. Because how often do plans go according to plan? Like,
Never.
Never? Like that's the only honest answer, right?
Yeah.
But he just said, I had this idea, therefore I'm going to do it now. And because I have this higher vision of what I can do and who I am, I will rise to the occasion. And that's what happens. So like what you were asking about, like time management was designed to squeeze every drop of blood, sweat, and tears out of people. And this isn't like something I'm making up. Like if you really look it up, during the Industrial Revolution, they designed systems for factory workers to work because they didn't all speak the same language, didn't have the same skills. They didn't know what was going on. Fine, it makes sense, but it wasn't designed to give you freedom. It was designed to keep you extremely stuck doing one thing constantly.
Slave.
And even when you get bored, you're out. Modern day slavery. Like you just have to. In fact, back then they called themselves, you can look at it, they called them wooden men. What that meant was, those things at Disneyland, those like anima character things, like that's when those little robot things.
Yeah.
They started seeing themselves as robots because of time management.
I mean, absolutely. Right. We're all kind of sucked into this
Isn't
now.
that crazy?
Like,
yeah. So the idea now is what if we thought about it differently? What if we stopped managing time and started prioritizing our attention? What if we valued our time instead of timing our values?
That was it.
Value your time, don't time your values, right? Because if you do, then you rescue your dream from the end of a timeline, you build it front and center, and you work from the dream, not endlessly toward it. And that sounds weird, but it's different. Like, Sean, you told me about a time after reading Anti-Time Management, how you did something with your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's actually happened to me multiple times. So the idea is instead of waiting till that destination where you can have the golden years where you're on the beach and in love with the family time and just thinking, hey, I'm going to grind until that point. I love the concept of time tipping. It's taking a little tip of that time, bringing it now. So this has happened to me multiple times. Like even last week, my daughter's like, hey, you want to take the dog to the dog park? And I had 1,000 things at the moment I was doing. I literally had 100 and something texts I hadn't checked. 100%. And I was in that mode where I would have said before reading the book, well, yeah, I can, but later maybe, like, let me just get to it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a little tip of this time.
What?
And bring it right here. And I'm going to go out. And we had an incredible chat. And we walked around the park. And here's my little 20-year-old.
I didn't know that.
I was able to do that. So
that's so cool.
This is a regular thing for me. I'm trying to prioritize it. I'm not perfect.
Can you tell me how you went to Europe when you wouldn't have otherwise? And I was like, the thing that's crazy is it's not necessarily hard. It's just a different way of thinking. So you'll hear all these business people talk about strategy. You don't realize that strategy is always a surprise. If it wasn't a surprise, it wouldn't be a strategy. Think about it, a strategy as a war term. If they know your strategy, it's over. So no one has a strategy. But if you think my strategy is I'm going to do the thing, become the thing,
yes,
people will go, what is happening? Why am I attracted to this person, to this idea? Why is it happening? Why is there emotion? Why am I feeling this? And it's because this person's moving. They're making waves. It's like moving a mountain, as opposed to like, I'm going to put into my little calculator that one day I'm going to, it's like, bro, that's cool, but not for life. Like,
drop the mic on that. That is so powerful. But I think that's it. It's like this idea of, and like attracts like because of the energy. We're all just frequency. We're all just energy being.
Totally.
And so if you haven't hit a different frequency, you can't possibly, like people are like, oh, I want to be here. And it's like, well, you can't be until you've gone through the energy change. Like you have to become that other person. What were you going to say though?
Well, I just think he's also lived it too. So like, and you can maybe talk about how your original idea of you deciding, hey, I'm going to go walk around the beach instead. I'm doing 40 hours at
just like,
bell to bell.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you some things, but it is true. Like people are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do you really do? Like, I just make stuff up. Like, what do you do? I'm just trying to figure it out. They want to like, don't put me in a box until I'm dead, right? Like I just want to do whatever I want to do. And they go, you need to focus. Like, I feel like I'm in the right direction. Does the focus have to be one little thing? Like, I don't know. So, these thoughts come through. But it is true. At one point in time, I said, I want to be able to work from my phone because that means I can be mobile. And this is like 20 years ago when it wasn't easy. Now it's easier to do these things, not perfect. And so when you have to like say, no, I need a computer, all of a sudden when you don't have one because you're on the road traveling with your family across the country, we've gone for 6 months across the country. We've gone for months across Europe. We've been in Asia for months at a time. And you go, why? How do you do that? Do you have all this money? It's like, no, it's a business model. How can the business support my lifestyle? Because if the business supports the lifestyle, then wherever I am,
it's your business.
Is my business. Isn't that a crazy thought?
Yes.
But I didn't always think this way, and it is true. Like when I grew up in San Diego. I asked my dad how I can make money when I was 16 years old, and I said I was going to get a job, and he said, "Don't get a job." I said, "What?"
Best advice ever.
Best advice ever, dude.
I was like, "Dad, that's the worst advice ever."
That was the best advice.
Hindsight, it's like the best advice.
Hey, long story short, he told me to go to El Centro, which was a farming town, and to go ask the watermelon farmers if I could buy the watermelons they couldn't sell to the stores because they weren't the right size because they don't take those ones. So we did. We sold them in one day on the 4th of July. We made more money in one day than we would have my brother, than we would have working the whole summer,
Your dad is a genius.
He's a freaking genius. You know what I mean? And so I learned when you're a kid, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
But like looking back, they're like, how did you figure this out? I go, I don't know. Oh yeah. My dad taught me how to not trade my time for money. It was in my head that I could make money. It wasn't in my head that I had to get a job to make money. I know that's different, but anybody watching this has now heard it. You can now think differently. Like it can happen just like that. That's crazy. But again, too, I don't do this because I want to have this crazy fun lifestyle, even though it is crazy fun. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I just got back from China. I was having a great time. I'm doing whatever. Like I can't lie. But I have a brother-in-law that passed away. I have a son that passed away. I had some foster kids that came and went. My wife had a stroke and lost her memory for a while. She's okay. She's great. I had a son get hit by a car, almost die. He's doing good. His mindset's crazy because it's like not that he got beat by a car. It's more like he beat the car. Like instead of getting hit by a car, like he's Superman and beat the car. So he's riding these big waves like you were talking about and stuff. But one time I was like, does God hate me? Like what's going on? And then I just thought I had this idea like just love God unconditionally.
Yep.
Stuff happens. Keep your faith. Go to work and do your thing. And so now all the terrible things that happen. There's a little different perspective. My family is the most important. My life is most important. Even if business stuff gets crazy, don't do it at the sacrifice of them. So yes, how you spend your time is how you show your love.
So good, man.
So good. Repeat that.
Yeah, how you spend your time is how you show your love.
You had actually shared this on this last X room. I believe it was you that you were just like, you can tell the people you care about based on the last 10 text messages that you see before you go to bed. And
That's a crazy thought. That's a crazy thought.
Yeah, I had a trainer get up and he's like, okay, who are the most important people in your life? And it was like, oh, my daughter, my family, all this stuff. And then he's like, I want you to pull out your phones. If they're the most important people, who have you texted today? And I looked at my phone, none of them. You know, I just done all business texts. And I was like, it just puts things into priority.
It really does.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right? I love that.
love that.
too.
And I feel like if you sacrifice what you love for success, you get neither. And these are the things that we don't really think about. But you're right. You know how like these like health podcasts, like Huberman and stuff, they'll go on and they'll say like really detailed things, like go outside and get some sun, you know, or like whatever they say, like the weird, really granular stuff. I think you're right. I think you're right that it is really those little things, the daily decisions, the standards that we keep for ourselves that kind of make up our lives. But also they also make up for the big mistakes that we might make.
Yes. Oh.
Your spouse and your kids don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to know if you're there. I mean, every freaking movie's about the mom or the dad that's not there. Like, come on, let's just not do that anymore. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. We're present.
Make a choice. You know what I mean?
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be the story.
Before we finish, maybe we can use this as the finisher too. So in the time tipping book, you talk about a certain, I believe she was homeless at the time.
Oh yeah, Cyra.
Maybe if you could tell Cyra's story.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Shout
hear
out to
it.
Cyra.
Yes.
So if you ever heard Skrillex, and he has that song like Lost Boys, I mean, they play it like when you're running out to their chagrin on a football game. You know?
Oh yeah. Totally. You can't miss it. Yeah.
Cyra is the singer on that song.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
We met in Moldova, of all places. We were both giving TEDx talks, and she's super cool. She's like my best friend. I love her so much. Anyways, I asked her about her story, okay, and she tells me the craziest story about her dad that was an addict, and how at some point she was homeless, and how she was on the streets in California, and like all the things, like all the worst things you can imagine. This poor sweet little girl experienced. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, because now she's this Grammy award-winning rapper. So I'm trying this. There's a juxtaposition. There's a gap.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, well, what happened? And she says she had this thought. She felt like it was God telling her to be a rapper. A little white girl, okay? Like, she doesn't, like this is not the thing.
Yeah.
So she would go to this thing in LA where all these people will be up there, and you go on stage and they boo you off the stage if you're not good, something like that. And she did it every week. She did it so much that she said that some nice people came to her and said, like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you are embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
And the way she said it, not my words, her words, she's like, they taught me how to be a girl, how to be a human, how to be a person. And they taught her, I don't know, how to be a person, how not to be homeless, you know what I mean? How to live, and how to rap. So she got up there and she started getting more popular, started meeting people. She, created that song with Skrillex, became a Grammy award-winning rapper. And so the idea of the whole concept of it, and even the way she thinks about it, is it wasn't, I will become a rapper.
I am
a rapper. And she acted from that mindset. So she became it in the moment. And then dreams come true.
My gosh, I love this human. I feel a lot of like kindred spirit here. Like
you would like her. She's super cool.
You know, it's so interesting. My daughter, a few, little while back, she was like, it's like we were clashing, right? She was 7. Well, at the time she was like 16 and a half, and we were just kind of like bumping heads. And I was just like, why are we in this spot, right? Because I just care for her. I just want to give her the entire world, and she's my angel and all the things. But we were just bumping heads. And then finally we were having this heart to heart, and she just sat down and I was like, okay, babe, so like, let's talk, what's really going on here? Why can't we communicate? Like, for whatever reason, we just could not communicate. And she's like, I just think you're fake.
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Ooh, all right. Let's go
gosh.
there.
Yeah, right. Let's talk.
Okay, let's give it. Give it to me, girl.
Yeah.
And she did. She literally was just like, you're so fake. You're always happy. You're always on. It feels like you're always on stage. Like you're always teaching me or training me, or you're just always on. And it's just so fake, Mom. And so I feel like I can't have a conversation with you. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, there's some things to learn here, right? Of like how she wants to be communicated to. Right. But I also took a step back and said, interestingly enough, though, could I propose one question? And she was like, like, fine, you know. And she said, and I just said, well, what if I actually am just that person? What if I became that person?
I love that.
So if I'm always on, I'm always happy, I'm always this person, does that not tell you that that's just who I am?
True.
And that was all of a sudden she was just like, huh? I was like, I am this person, Makai. So either love me the way I am now, or right, like you have to have a relationship with me now.
It's
like
true.
this is who I am.
I love that.
And she was just like, oh, but I think that was such a great lesson for so many people of like, you can become someone and then you get to love that person and you don't like, you shouldn't try and change people. Like if they want to become whoever let them become who they want to become.
Yep.
And then love them in that space.
Yep.
And it's okay to change and like evolve and
we're all changing. It's true. I love that.
Yeah. It was just like, I am that person. It's okay.
That was a good, you're a good mom. That was a good response.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
Very
oh my
cool.
gosh,
I love
this
it.
is so
Well,
good.
Richie, it was awesome today. I think a lot of people obviously knew you here, but just you in that 7 to 8 minutes on stage really made an impact, and
thanks,
people
man.
absolutely loved it.
Thank
a lot
you.
of comments we already heard afterwards, and
Appreciate that.
And I think you're just you're an interesting combination because you're a surfer dude that likes Blink 182, and you're totally chill. But at the same time, you're an incredible thought leader.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So out of the surfer kind of hanging out, you come up with these brilliant concepts, and
Just
you
hanging out in
literally
the
lead
salt water,
thought.
you know?
Yes, maybe that's it. Maybe that's your superpower, your
There it
secret to
is.
your power.
It is, man.
But like the thought leading stuff you've done around this time, and like actually loving life, and you're experiencing and living that yourself right now. So,
Bro, you're so nice, and
Yeah.
so are you.
Oh,
But you,
so
I'm
great.
nice. I would say the same thing about you guys. Obviously, what a cool group you've brought together
Yeah,
here. Oh my
for sure.
gosh, like powerful, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm very grateful.
I feel like every time he comes into town
yeah.
and he sends me a text, I'm like, yes, come over here right now.
Right now.
This was
Whatever.
like literally, was it last night or
It was last night. I'm like, Sean, I'm here, and he's like, okay, can you do this podcast? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, can you do this podcast? I'm like, yeah.
And you speak on the stage?
I'm like,
and he's
what?
like, done.
Well, I was
Oh.
even here, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going on because people told me an email went out, and it's like Richie speaking on stage. I was like, I don't know when or how or what, but I'm down. Whatever.
But that's it, right? If John, that's really the message.
But you
If John
brought it- no,
asks
it is.
anyone to
I'll
do
do it.
anything, they'll say yes.
But just bring it full circle on a small way. That is the purpose of anti-time management is to be available for the things that you want to do,
Yeah.
but also to be available when things get bad. Because that's when it's most important. Things get bad, I'm like, I can't because I'm not available. Like, no, I want to be available. I want to have the choice or opportunity when things get bad. I want to be available when I can, speak or cancel a speech when I was going to China to go be with my son in the hospital when he got hit by a car. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, in those instances, of course you will. Yeah, but what about in the normal everyday instances, will you? Can you? And the answer is yes, you can, but you have to think about it, you know?
Love it, Richie.
Yeah,
Oh
dude,
my
you guys
gosh.
are
Thanks
awesome.
so much.
Thank you.
So good.
We
Thank
We
you
love
need
you
like
guys.
2 more days, huh?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As always, give us a like, a thumbs up, a heart, and in the comments, tell us how incredible, obviously, Richie is. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, so good. And if any of this was useful to you, please share this message for somebody that needed to hear it. See you next time.
Thank you.